Allen Iverson had handles, and they were best for that time frame. Using his dribble combo sequence today is basic. The dribbling combinations that are used today are evolving into a chain of combos in order to throw off defenders and create space. So what's in your bag, so to speak. Also keeping in mind, ball handlers have a little more cushion today than Iverson, Tim Hardaway, Isaiah Thomas, as far as how much of a degree officials are willing to allow the handler to carry the ball or hang the ball in the air, so long as their hand is on top of the ball. This question is a really good one. We can't be biased because the need for the many moves today weren't necessary during the 80s and 90s era. A simple double cross could fake out one of the greatest on-ball defenders in the game. Try that in today's game, and your chances of getting by these top defenders are slim. I think it's all dependent upon set rules and acknowledging moves that were so simple. It's not as effective as it used to be. So as the game grows and moves forward, you got to channel something else into it. First of all, who determines who's great and who's not great? If you take a deeper look into it, it's actually you yourself who determines your greatness. You got tons of opinions, and don't get me wrong, everyone has a right to it, so they say. It's all biased to the time when you were affected by the game. When you were watching the game of basketball, whose game altered your game? Whose game did you grow from? What player made an impact in your life? There are players out there in all eras who influence the entire world. Some can do that more than any other player over a long period of time to a point where their legacy becomes cemented. But that's not true. Winning is subjective. A player can win more titles than anyone else in the history of the game. With the way people critique who is great, you may not even make their top 5. Being a great NBA player isn't restricted to title runs or how many you can win. That kind of thinking can eat a player alive inside, making short of all the other awesome accomplishments they've made throughout their career. And you can't let that get in your head because losing can defeat you mentally. Getting a max contract is a win. You don't get that if you aren't a great NBA player. Winning MVP, you don't get that if you aren't a great NBA player. Becoming an all-star, making first team All-NBA, and ultimately making it to the highest stage of the game. You won't make it if you aren't a great NBA player. Over a course of 75 years, about 4,374 players have played in an NBA game. Only 570 players have made it to the NBA Finals. So that's what, 12% all time? Half of those guys have won the Finals. And the other half, well, you know. So only 6% of everyone who has ever played in the NBA have won a championship. Let that sink in. All those human beings who put their families, their heart and soul into the game should be made short of because they didn't win the finals.
I tried my best. I tried, man. You know,
when we look at the game in that way, those people can easily be forgotten, and they shouldn't, because without them, you don't have the game. Everyone won't win. Although we love and cherish our winners, we should also love and cherish our losers.
You know, my family is safe. At the end of the day, they're safe, and that's the most important.
More people are starting to recognize that players are more than an athlete. Players have more than just fans to entertaining and careers. They live in the same world as everyone else. Just because they are multi-millionaires doesn't mean they don't have feelings or struggles like you and I do. There are levels to living in this world, and being at the top isn't always as good as you think it is. All people have their own struggles. Some people have struggles that we all won't be able to understand. Some people choose not to even care. Just shut up and dribble. The NBA has grown stronger as a family while responding to such judgments. And being able to understand each other is important and improving. Players being able to spearhead their own careers and direct that path to what they want while putting in hard work is also a great change the NBA has allowed. People may discredit you for grabbing that steering wheel in your own career. It takes humility, it takes balls to be able to do such a thing. You can win multiple championships. You can win multiple MVPs. And you can do all those things and much more. One mistake, and this world will look at you like you're a monster. But we aren't perfect. We are still human. We all make mistakes. The thing is, there's no insurance for great people screwing up. So why not? Why not take control of your career? Why not build your own legacy? Why not build your own brand? Just because it's outside of the norm doesn't mean you can't do it. Change. That's the only way we can grow. Change. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait.